everyone's like, what is going on with the refs? And I'm like, I don't know. And you finding me $500 is not going to do.
This was exactly the kind of response Caitlin Clark's fans had been hoping to see from her teammates. And with Sophie Cunningham, they got much more than they imagined. Sophie did not just stand up for Caitlin, she became the strongest voice for fans and one of the biggest challenges for Cathy Engelbert. Here is why. As the 2025 season moved forward, Sophie's patience with the league's issues completely disappeared. Every tough foul on Caitlin, every unnecessary hit ignored by officials, and every penalty handed down by the league only pushed Sophie to speak out more. She openly criticized referees, the media, former teammates, and even the league itself. No one escaped her comments. And the part that should concern the WNBA the most is that this was only the start. In this video, we look at Sophie's journey from defending Caitlin to becoming one of the league's most outspoken figures, with every moment growing bolder and more memorable. Before we begin, like the video and share your favorite Sophie moment in the comments.
Just the competitor that I am. I'm fierce, I'm sassy. I stick up for my teammates, stick up for myself. And so sometimes I think that's okay to be feisty and to be yourself.
What Sophie said at that moment ended up being less than the full story. When she arrived in Indiana, fans were excited because the team badly needed the attitude she promised: toughness. Someone who could help discourage the constant rough treatment aimed at Caitlin Clark. But Sophie delivered more than intensity. She brought something supporters recognized immediately: genuine loyalty and support for Caitlin.
I mean, you know, she has changed our game in the best possible way in every way.
And in the WNBA, that stood out. After a season in which the media minimized Caitlin's influence, officials often failed to give her fair treatment, and even Nike was slow to fully promote her, it was refreshing to hear a player speak so openly. Caitlin Clark had become the face of the WNBA. She was helping reshape the league. That straightforward opinion quickly made Sophie a target for criticism. It was not long before other players began challenging her. Then during the preseason, fans saw the first glimpse of fearless Sophie. In a game against the Mystics, rookie Kiki Iriafen knocked her down. Sophie immediately got back up and made it clear she would not tolerate that kind of move again. That preseason incident was only a preview, a small glimpse of what would happen throughout the season. If a rookie felt comfortable challenging a veteran like Sophie, then what kind of treatment was Caitlin Clark going to face? The Fever seemed to have a target on their backs. And Sophie's purpose on the team was becoming more obvious with every game. Time after time, officials kept their whistles silent. Caitlin absorbed hard contact without calls while opponents continued playing aggressively without consequences. It felt like a repeat of 2024. Then Sophie finally reached her limit. On June 17 during the Commissioner's Cup matchup between the Fever and the Connecticut Sun, the game began slipping out of control. First, JC Sheldon made contact near Caitlin's eyes. Then Marina Mabrey hit her with a strong body check. There were no ejections, no meaningful response, and no protection. That was the moment Sophie reacted. What happened next quickly became one of the most talked about moments among Caitlin Clark supporters. For many fans, it felt like long-awaited relief.
During that, it was just part of the game. I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build-up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so, at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do, and I'm a team player, so it's all good.
At last, there was a response. After months of seeing Caitlin take hard hits without much protection, Sophie answered back. A grab, a push, and a clear message. What are you going to do about it? Sophie had always played with passion and intensity, but this moment felt different. It marked a turning point. From then on, she seemed completely unafraid of criticism or consequences, and her actions were not limited to games. During practice after the matchup, reporters asked her about the incident, and Sophie made it clear that her reaction was not about a single play or one specific game. She believed the issue was much larger than that. Sophie had spent a long time watching how Caitlin Clark was treated from a distance. Now she was experiencing the situation up close, and she had reached her breaking point. That moment helped turn Sophie Cunningham into a widely recognized name across the basketball world.
They bring in Sophie Cunningham. I had no idea. Sophie Cunningham was a black belt at the age of 6.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boom!
Wow.
I love it.
She was the one who stepped up and defended Caitlin Clark when it mattered most. What followed became a clear example of the Caitlin Clark effect in action. Fans immediately rallied around her. Her jersey sold out within minutes, and her social media accounts gained millions of new followers almost overnight. Sophie leaned into the attention. She even shared a TikTok set to a Selena Gomez song, subtly referencing the JCS Sheldon incident, and it quickly went viral. Her comment section was filled with the same message again and again: "Thank you for standing up for Caitlin." It turned into a massive moment, worth millions in exposure. In a short time, Sophie went from a role player to one of the league's most talked about names. But the attention also brought backlash. Media outlets criticized her reaction to JC Sheldon while ignoring Marina Mabrey's hit and Sheldon's earlier contact on Caitlin. A petition on change.org even appeared, demanding she be removed from the league for unsportsmanlike behavior. Then came a WNBA fine of $400. At that point, Sophie faced a decision. She could stay quiet, let things cool down, and return to being just another hard-working role player. But she chose the opposite. From then on, her comments became sharper, her clips more direct, and her attitude more unapologetic. This was no longer just basketball for Sophie Cunningham. She had drawn a line and made her choice, becoming one of the league's most controversial figures.
Man, I don't know how excited people are to be going to Detroit.
On July 1st, Sophie directly criticized the WNBA, speaking out against its expansion plans, and her comments quickly became a trending topic. She was now openly saying what many others were thinking but not saying out loud. Soon after, the fine started coming. On July 18th, she posted a TikTok lip-syncing to a Sabrina Carpenter song, indirectly mocking the referees and calling them ineffective. The video blew up, gaining over 1 million views within hours. Fans enjoyed it, but the WNBA did not. She was fined $500. In reality, that amount meant very little for her compared to most players, especially with endorsement income growing. So instead of shutting her down, the fine only added fuel. Less than 2 weeks later, she escalated again by launching her podcast titled Show Me Something. From the first episode, she made it clear she was not holding back. This was more than a podcast, it became her platform to openly challenge the league. From the start, she targeted everyone without hesitation. She criticized the league for how Caitlin Clark was being treated and even brought up issues with former teammates. She openly stated that the increased physicality, the cheap shots, and the rough play were all connected to Caitlin Clark's presence. She also called out the referees, saying they completely lost control during the Sun game and that Marina Mabrey should have been ejected.
You have seen players in our league try to toughen up Caitlin. We call her CC. For even when I wasn't on her team, I know the talks that Phoenix had in the locker room of no, we're gonna prove her, we're gonna show her what the W really is. You know what I mean? And I get it to a certain extent. And every rookie coming into the league, that's how you're gonna treat them. But there's just more for her. So it's her second year. And now being on her team and seeing it, I'm what are people doing? Actually it's just too much. Yeah. And it's just, I'm over. And if I'm saying it's too much, then it's probably too much.
No, that's so fair.
That's fair, right?
Yeah.
Then Sophie dropped a major bombshell, not just aimed at the players, but also at the media, team owners, and anyone inside the league she felt had disrespected Caitlin Clark.
There's a couple players on their team that are just do a little bit extra stuff, just chippy talking. You're a professional athlete, that's what happens, right?
Do you feel like you see it more because people act like this towards Caitlin?
Yes, 1,000%. So in the first half, the refs didn't call. Someone should have been thrown out, and the refs did not call it.
Correct. I remember that.
They didn't. And so I was like, all right.
She got full body
shoot,
chested.
by 3 people.
Yeah.
Like 2 people, they're like, oh, it's fine. I'm like, if that was anyone else, I would have been booted out of the game. I know that for sure. I'm a little sassy, but like, so are they.
Your leash is shorter though, because they know.
Literally, I don't even have a leash. I just have a freaking collar and a hand on it.
After that, she turned her attention straight to the referees, directly challenging them and essentially daring the league to take action against her.
Damn it.
No, I think that's what from what I've seen.
Yeah, what
in the
is
media,
the outside? Like the outside view
discourse
of the
is
W?
like, why bully the person who is like not 100% responsible, but like has a huge role in growing your sport?
Dude, and it literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Sabrina? No.
No, there's really good, well-known people in our league. I'm not discrediting them. Like, we have a lot of badasses in our league.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah to that. I'm all for that. But when people try to argue that she's not the face of our league,
Yeah.
or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as shit.
Yeah.
You're literally dumb as fuck.
On August 5th, Sophie revealed that the league had fined her once again, this time issuing a penalty of $1,500.
Because if I was a ref, I know I would mess up all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that your job is easy, but when it is a simple call right in front of your face multiple times, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What call are you like bugged out?
All of them.
Most everything?
Like, it's just like they're just so inconsistent. Like, that's my thing. Like, if you're on the other team and you're gonna be finding the shit out of me,
yeah.
cool. But let me do it to
Didn't
you.
let you, yeah.
You know what I
You
mean?
want
Like,
consistency then.
yeah, like just give. And I think that's players across the league and like new fans across the country. Like, everyone's like, what is going on with the refs? And I'm like, I don't know. And you finding me $500 is not going to do shit.
But as she had already made clear, the fine changed nothing. On the same podcast, she called out former teammate and mentor Dana Borner over what she described as an ugly departure from Indiana, just days before facing her again in Phoenix.
We were talking about like our first week, what people had to say. Well, the WNBA fined me for
No! You got fined for episode 1?
Dude, they fined me $1,500. I'm like, what? I'm like, this is just the beginning. I was like, you're kidding. Oh,
Way.
I was like, I even told them, I even credited them that their job was hard. I did say that, and I said that I would not be good at it. I did say that. Like, look at the whole picture. What are we doing?
No one knows exactly what was said behind closed doors during that Fever versus Mercury situation, but one thing became obvious afterward: Phoenix was not happy with Sophie's remarks. Her message was clear, direct, and cold, showing there was no love left between them.
She's towards the end of her career, so like, she deserves her flowers. She deserves to be happy. But I also think that if you're gonna leave, like, you're gonna have to expect getting bit.
Was there explanation when it happened? No. Not even privately? That's tough. And, yeah, okay.
Then she pushed things even further. Sophie crossed one of the league's unspoken lines by calling out the referees again, this time focusing on what she described as unfair special treatment for Paige Buchers. On her August 13th podcast episode, she openly criticized the officials, saying Paige was receiving excessive favoritism. She did not soften her words or hold back at all, making her stance extremely clear.
Or just as an opponent tonight?
Yeah, AZ was good to me, but I'm way happier where I'm at now. It was good to see people. It was fun to play in front of some fans, but for me, I'm way happier in Indiana.
Sophie openly said what many fans had been noticing for a long time: a clear double standard. On one side, Caitlin Clark, the face of the league, was still taking heavy contact with little protection even into her second season. On the other side, Paige Buchers, a rookie, was already getting star-level treatment from day one. Sophie pointed out that this was the level of respect Caitlin should have received from the beginning, and she was one of the few willing to say it publicly. As expected, the league responded in its usual way, handing her yet another fine.
Do not get me wrong. I think, I think she's a hell of a player and would love to play with her one day. But those refs were giving her every freaking whistle last night. Like, you literally couldn't touch her. And that
That shit is so annoying to me.
Hey, another thing, I don't know why this reminded me of just like games, you asking about Bria, but I'm officially 3 for 3 on being fined by the WNBA.
Holy shit. For this? For the pod? Again?
They didn't like my comments on Paige Becker's.
No way.
I didn't even say anything bad.
Now Sophie is sidelined for the rest of the season due to an MCL injury, so there will be no more on-court moments from her in 2025. But everything she experienced, witnessed, and spoke about while playing helped build her platform. To many, Sophie became an example of how the WNBA could have supported Caitlin Clark from the start. She recognized Caitlin's impact, embraced it, and defended her at every opportunity. As Caitlin's popularity grew beyond the league itself and her fanbase faced constant criticism, Sophie became their loudest voice. She expressed openly what many fans were already thinking about how the league treats its biggest star. That is why her platform stands out. It supports women's basketball, but not always the league's decisions. It is not focused on protecting the league's image, it is focused on challenging it, including leadership, referees, and players. And if anything, her voice is only getting stronger because fines do not change her behavior. Every time the league pushes back, she pushes harder. That is what makes her so controversial for the WNBA. A player with real fan support, openly defending Caitlin Clark while fearlessly criticizing the league. And in many ways, the situation reflects back on the league itself. Until real changes are made, especially in protecting star players, voices like Sophie's will continue speaking up. If you made it this far, drop a trophy in the comments because you stuck through to the end.